Okay, we thank you for still being there. We are looking at the 2023 presidential election this morning, and from the perspective of APC, Southwest APC is what we're looking at this morning. Last week, leaders of the party in the region and the presidential aspirants in the region came out in Lagos for a meeting, and after the meeting they came out to say they are confident of the fact that the region will produce the next president of Nigeria. But then there are a whole lot of people that are doubting that. They feel that with the number of aspirants that the region is pushing out for this race, they may not really reach a consensus, and presidency may elude the region in 2023. We have two guests in the studio to look at this morning. We have Ustaz Jubril Lawal, the public analyst, joining us this morning. Good morning, Ustaz.
Good morning, Biodun.
Good to see you. Thank you so much
for pleasure here.
Joining us this morning. We also have with us this morning a gender analyst, and of course someone who has also monitored a whole lot of elections in Nigeria and beyond, Ms. Mojisola Akinsoya is also joining us this morning. Good morning, Ms. Aksan.
Good morning, Biodun, and good morning, viewers at home.
Thank you so much for joining us. Let's start with Ustaz. Ustaz, the way the thing is going, I know inside of you, you also have your own. Do you have doubts about the fact that with the way things are actually going, the presidency may not come to Southwest? I mean, if you look at the field of aspirants that are from the region, aspiring to contest the primaries of the party, there is the vice president, Yemi Osinbajo. There is former governor of Ogun State, Senator Abeokuta Amusun. There is Dimeji Bankole, former Speaker of House of Reps. There is the AFDB man, Additional Akinwumi. There is Pastor Tunde Bakari. All of those ones from Ogun State, and many more, But they came out at the last meeting, and they were confident. I saw the picture, beaming with smiles. It looked like there's no crisis among them. Is that a facade?
Oh, thank you so much. Let me first appreciate you guys for what you're doing. They are bringing this to the front burner, the issue of what happened within the Southwest. I think kudos to you people. It's high time we start thinking like that. We need to start thinking, some element of regionalization need to come into our thinking. There's no doubt about that. Well, thank God that we're having so many of them coming out, so many of them feeling that they want to do it and change the narrative. The problem we're going to have is not really with their personality or what they can do or not do. We'll get to that in the course of the program. The structure is the real problem for Nigeria, but we are getting there. Regarding the meeting and Southwest getting the presidential ticket, a lot of factors are coming to play. It's not just the Southwest itself. It's a national thing. The APC has its own program and agenda. The PDP too has its own agenda. There have been a lot of people fighting against zoning. If you listen to the press, a lot have been saying no to zoning. The North has been saying no. They too have a right to contest, etc. There have been a lot of arguments around the right center. Well, to me, I believe there should be zoning, because that is when and only when other parts of the country could only say they have a stake in Nigeria. If you look at the way things are now, the North seems to be more favored politically in terms of being able to produce president than any other region of Nigeria. I mean, the North, for instance, now in the Southwest, we just have 6 states. In the South, 6 states. With what population? In the Southeast, there are 5 states. But when you look at the big North, that's about 19 states in the big North. So they have more advantage, to produce the president. So I believe that if we want equity, everybody in Nigeria having the right to it, there should be zoning. That is one. Now, talking of the Southwest, I am happy that the leaders are now thinking that there should be consultation. As a chartered mediator, we believe that there is conflict everywhere. Even in your home, within your children and your wife, we have conflict, which must be resolved and managed. And that's what they are doing now. My only challenge, sometimes ago, if you remember, on one platform, when the poster of VP was brought up and they said Judas betrayed whatever, my comment then was, no, this is not the way to go about this. That I just pray and hope our leaders of thought will come together, to bring about consultation, how to resolve this conflict. I said it there. But then the question is, who are the leaders? That is the big question we are going to be able to answer in the Southwest. Who are our leaders? The traditional leaders, political leaders, or elder statesmen like Professor Adebanjo, etc. All these are there. What is happening is that only the political gladiators are the ones that are coming up to act as our leaders. If they get there, they become our leaders. But I think it goes beyond that. The society is too big for just one sector of the system to want to lay claim to that leadership. I am thinking that the leaders of thought, and I think leaders of thought, it include political leaders, traditional leaders, academics, all of them coming together, like we have in the North, coming together like what is good for our system, what is good for the country, I mean for the region, because it's a region thing now. We have, development agenda for Western Nigeria, which is non-commissioned. That is thinking a good one on economic level, social level, etc. Can we bring it to a political level? We are a lot, that's what comes and say, no, what is good for us as a people? So the question mark is on the leadership. Now we have former governor of Ogun State, and then BC Akonde, coming together, wanting to can we come and brainstorm and think? But I feel it should be extended beyond that.
We actually forgot to add Fayemi, the governor of Ekiti State. He has also reportedly bought a form. In fact, Fayemi attended Amosun's declaration, and Amosun attended Fayemi's declaration. So that's really giving people feeling that they are up to a particular game, Mr. Kisonya.
Yeah, well, taking it from where Ustaz Jibri put it, to actually look at who is the leader. I look at the table that day when they did the meeting, and there is no single woman among them.
That's what we brought you here this morning.
I just laugh. When you look at the demographic of our voters list, women are more. So in the political class, it is only one gender that are leaders. It's very, very, disappointing to me. It's very, open my eyes again that it's like we are still in 1960 again. Why are we, calling political leaders, and there is not even a senatorial woman, a senator in APC from the Southwest that can be at the meeting. There is nobody from the banking sector, private sector that can sit down, because you cannot leave politics and economy. You cannot leave it. There is nobody from the security sector that is a woman, that can be part of...
Or a Southwest political woman leader.
Woman leader, yes. So in other words, it's still telling us that even when they have that structure and they have women leader, it's always 2G, just be there. You cannot be part of, our discussion. You cannot be at the table.
But that's it for you as a gender analyst. But beyond that,
beyond that,
let's assume that we had a woman there.
Yes, beyond that, I believe that all the men have the capacity. They are now empowered. It is system that empowered them to have that 100 million to take the form. Let's start from that. How many women of today, in Nigeria of today, we have 100 million to buy?
They bought the funds for them. Many of them claimed that the funds were bought for them. So
well, that is what they want the society to, to believe, that it is the community, it is CSO, it is organization, it is associations that bought the fund for them. But let us be clear, this is just a strategy for us to believe that Nigerians, you are all fools. This is the way we select, because, every election that is coming after COVID is a tough one, because most countries are going through a lot concerning economy, social and environment, issues. So this election will, it's a tone to let us know whether we are going to be together or not. And, Southwest, if this zone is coming to us now, we have to do it better. All eyes are on us, because they look at it when it comes to, education, Southwest, we are there. When it comes to, economy, we are there. But this politics now how are we going to do it? They were not able to come out with a communique though from that meeting. But from what I've read in the newspaper, is like telling them, okay, if we are not going to agree on consensus, everybody keep quiet and stop name shaming or, bringing out, hate speech on each other, but let's have a decorum to, to exercise that, a model to let people know that we are together.
Isn't that praiseworthy? Isn't that democracy? I mean, it means
it's democracy, but the thing is that if there is a woman at that table, I think that woman can even say, okay, if any of you is running, can you make sure that you have a woman there as your vice president? Negotiation will start, at that point. Why 100 million? Why are they, making Nigerians with the hardship in the economy, sweeping it on their faces that we have 100 million? So I don't know the game, whether the 100 million is fake, whether they are just collecting the form free. We don't even know what is happening, until, the electoral process, we have campaign finance. We want to know how they're going to use this money. So somebody that, bought ticket for 100 million, even if you ask that person to step down, there should be a negotiation going on. Are you going to return the 100 million? Are you going to get more than that? So many things are in, on social media, everybody analyzing it. There is a game going on behind. And now they are now using it like a court, like a cabal now. They call themselves leaders, like a cabal where they have one gender sitting on that table to deliberate.
Politics itself, it's a game.
Yeah.
It's survival of the fittest, But then, you talked about, you're taking it from another angle now, the gender. And I was thinking, probably because, the meeting, one, was just to, they thought the leaders, now Baba Oshoba and Akonde, they thought probably by the time they reached out to them, they could reach a consensus. Don't forget, a lot of people never thought all of them will be present at that meeting. Okay. We never thought that all of them, we thought some will be absent at the meeting. But we met, at the end of the day, we found out that they were all present, unable to reach a consensus, but then it was agreed that whoever becomes the candidate at the end of the day, others should line behind him. Do you think there is possibility of Southwest clinching that ticket? Because they do not have one voice now. They are divided about, when we counted, about 6 or 7 people from the Southwest. If you look at the list from APC, I think they have about 2 from the North, 2 or 3 others from the South.
Yeah.
So what is actually, do we have a chance at all? Mr. Akisai.
I'm very sure we have a chance. And why we still believe it's a game is that they are just playing on the larger society psyche. Let's see how they will feel. Let's test the water. Everybody that have that intention, that expression of interest to contest, definitely have an agenda in his or his mind that I want to do something. But the reality is that they know that it's only one person that will get the thing at the end of the day. I just pray that Southwest will not use this time, whether we like it, zoning is still happening, Southwest will not use this slot to, to scatter the chances we have now to make things right. I think this is the best time we can make things right because of so many agitation that is, coming from the south, from the north, and the security instability, all that. Southwest is like, you have the power, the ball is in your court now. Now do it well for the whole country. We know that the mess is there already. So who is coming to get it right? And, the election is not going to be like business before. As usual. It's so many people have opened their eyes. You will be surprised if this election goes in another way.
Okay, Ustaz, sorry, Moji. Ustaz, let's look at the perspective of some dissenting voices from Southwest leadership. You mentioned the fact that the field was not complete. If you are saying leadership, political leadership in the Southwest does not include someone like Chief Adebanjo, then you'll be saying something is missing somewhere. But this is, you know, an old man who has categorically come out to say that for equity and fairness,
yes,
presidency in 2022 should go to Southeast. He's actually said that all of the men that are campaigning, you know, in Southwest are wasting their times, you know. And so if you have Adebanjo, a big iconic figure from Southwest, saying this, you know, what kind of sign do you think this is giving Southwest chances ahead of the election next year?
It goes beyond the statement anyway. It goes beyond Adebanjo's statement. A lot of things are playing out now. Number one, we need to understand that the political juggernauts that are contesting for presidency in 2023 have their game plans. If you look at the way the funds have been picked, there are a lot of things that we need to talk about regarding the way the funds have been picked. Tinubu was the first person to call the shot. And when he did that, others, you know, followed suit, etc. Others came up with, I want to, I will not, you know, the vice president, etc. For Senator Bukuni Amosu, for 5 MEs of this world, is like an afterthought. A lot of things that happened, you know, regarding that. There are a lot of permutations going on, intrigue, game. It's understandable. Now, let me take your question. Regarding the Southeast, it goes beyond the Southeast saying you want to be president. It goes beyond, I know, Adebanjo saying we should look at Southeast. Yes, equity, fairness is right. But the Southeast itself does not seem galvanized and ready to take over the presidency with the way they are behaving. They don't seem to be ready for that. If they are ready, they should be doing what the Southwest is doing now. To start with it, I really appreciate what we are doing in the Southwest. I think we are trying to avoid what happened in the 60s, you know, the wet year problem that we had. It was because the people that were supposed to come, streamline, manage the conflict then couldn't come up with a consensus regarding, you know, Akitola and the late Awolowo, both of them are late now. That was why we had that issue we had then. And I think what they are trying to do is, can we prevent this from happening? But talking about the Southeast, yes, Adebanjo has made it so clearly well that can't we let Southeast go? Good thinking. In a good political setup, the Southwest should have like, look, listen, we need to team up to fight the North over this. Can we support you guys now? Then come back later, you know, to support us when it's our time or something like that. But it won't work. Why am I saying that? History of the 60s is coming to repeat itself. Don't forget that history argued that Zik eventually, you know, betrayed Awolowo. And I don't know whether you remember it. There was a plan that can we team up together, you know, and face the MPC then. And that was the agreement. The action group and the NCNC, you know. But when Awolowo and Co were waiting for the meeting, suddenly Zik just declared that it was supporting North. So when you look at, you know, those kind of betrayal in the past, it won't be easy for the Southwest to say, no, we want to go and support the East. But Adebanjo, as an elder statesman, has said what he needs to say. And I think it now, and that's why I'm questioning the issue of leadership. She brought the gender perspective to it anyway. That's her field. she represents the women. I am not looking at it from the gender angle. I'm not saying women are not supposed to be on top of that leadership stratum they were talking about. But where are our religious leaders? Like we had in the 60s. Where are they? Where are our professional leaders? I am thinking that somebody should be pivotal in bringing all these two together. Hold a meeting. The challenge you are having now is not just limited now, it didn't just start now. Even in the House of Assembly, the Southwest representatives in the Senate and also in the Green Chamber have not been able to come together to bring about a consensus on any issue. No consensus. Look, when you talk of petroleum industry bill, the PIB, that eventually became a law, the Southwest didn't have any consensus on it. when it got to the issue of, constitutional restructuring, constitutional, what do you call it? They want to, change a constitution, the right constitution. The Southwest is not come with any particular position. It has been an issue. So I am thinking that what have been started by, Oshoba and Bisi Akonde is a good thing, but they should enlarge, that platform. They should bring in other stakeholders, because really the Southwest to sit down and look at who is the best person for us. Look, if they feel that even among those that are coming up, we don't have the best chance, they should tell them, can we look for somebody else like this and bring them in?
Isn't that late?
It's not too late. It's an issue of the region.
Do you think we start? Do you think that in that, because I also looked at those that attended the meeting, beyond the aspirants,
yes,
we had some other people too. Do you think among them there is someone that you think is most qualified than those that have actually signified their interest?
It might be because for now the person is claiming innocence, is neutral. No, neutrality. I'm telling you, look, can we have somebody else apart from you guys who we feel is good? There have been people flying the kite of BRF, Raji Fashola, that it should come up. And when you look at the way APC has gone about this, it's strategic. Somebody said it, that behind each of the four, there is a withdrawal claim, whatever is the clause, and that is to be taken to a legal officer where you're going to sign. There's a game plan going on. And don't forget that the game plan did not start today. It started long ago, even with the, the Electoral Reform Act that eventually came out. Don't forget that in that act, consensus was not part of it. It was supposed to be total primaries. The presidency rejected it. Don't forget, who brought in that clause of everything was there at the primaries? It was from the House of Rep, where it was slotted in. By who? The Speaker of the House of Rep. I hope you are getting the game. When it was given to the president, somebody in the presidency, Malami, said no, it won't fly this way, because they had their game plan. And as soon as that was resolved, the next thing was APC announced a date for their convention. I hope you are following. And after that date was announced to their convention, the next thing that went to it was we had a consensus issue. Everybody that eventually became their party representative at their convention came out based on what? Consensus. They are telling us the way to the future. So what I'm saying in essence is whoever will become the flag bearer of APC will be a consensus candidate. So what I think the Southwest to do is, look, can we have somebody strong enough to be presented? It's good for us that our leaders should come together. When I talk of leaders, not just the crop of people that are there now. They should bring about other sector of the system. She has said it, women should be brought in. The Yellow Day of Yoruba land is there, or Alaba Lawson is there. She could be brought up into it. Alafin Ofini is late, but we have Oni is there. We have a lot of religious leaders, and Bonigi, is he late? I think he's alive. People like that should be brought up. Let them sit down and look what is good for the Southwest. It is a thing that has to do with our region. But beyond that, I have issue with our structure. But let's talk on what the agenda the politicians are setting. They are setting an agenda for us. We are discussing what they want us to discuss. I don't know if they are getting it. Yeah. We are not discussing what we feel we should be discussing. But the agenda they are setting for us is what they are discussing. But as a committed, passionate Southwestern person, I believe that our leaders should come together. And look, if they want to pick additional, if AFDB said additional need to resign before it comes up, we should be sure that we will get the presidency before we can afford to lose that AFDB presidency. I don't know how you are getting it. Yes, sorry.
When you're talking about leadership, reaching a consensus, from the Southwest, what are the qualities you think such a person should have?
That's another level of it now. But out of all those that are coming up to say they want to become president, if you ask me, I don't see any of them that is not qualified to be president of Nigeria. I'll be honest with you. Looking at the Nigerian context. Yeah. But we might say that somebody might be preferable to the other because of the fact that they have shown successes in their different fields. But let me tell you, politicking and leading a country has got nothing to do with I'm an expert in banking, I'm an expert in this area. I don't know how you're getting it. It goes in that. Westerhoff was not a good coach, but he was a good manager of humans. And what happened? We had good results. He was able to deploy everything around him, and we had success. But he was not a technically sound person as a coach. We all saw it. What I'm saying in essence is who might eventually become our president. Out of all the law that we have, all of them have shown capability. They've shown that they have what it takes to become president. But mind you, I kept on saying structure. The Nigerian system, go and bring an Obama, he will not succeed. Go and bring a Liang, whatever you call him, Singapore, whatever. You will not succeed.
Macron.
Yes, go and bring a Macron. Go and bring this leader of Taiwan or Singapore, this very popular leader, Lee Kuan, whatever they call his name. I'm sorry, who is now late. Go and bring him from the grave. Or Merkel of Germany or whoever. Look, go and bring them to Nigeria. The way the structure is, nobody can perform any miracle. That's the truth. But looking at those that are there now, to me, they all have the capacity. I mean, the VP has proven that he has what it takes. Tinubu is a veteran. We all know what he can deliver. Sia in Ogun State, we saw what he was able to do. He's a very strong person, strong-willed person. This is my way person. He has shown that. Who again is Fayemi too has equally shown that there are people that can be presented and be proud of. But I think our leaders need to sit down and look, gentlemen, we need to talk from one angle of a region. What is at stake? Can we overlook and go beyond our personal individual interest for the regional interest? This is important.
Does that also bother you, Mr. Akisoya? I mean, those of you that are in non-governmental organizations, you have also not been included in this discussion. Leadership discussion.
Yes.
I think Ustaz has made a lot of sense, I think it's been narrowed to just politics. And it's not just about politics, it's not about political leadership alone.
Exactly.
How does that also make you feel? Those of you that are
yes,
outside on the
because we
field.
have a lot of civil society leaders that are doing wonders. Even when you look at the experience of civil society that they have in all the sector, be it education, security, everything, looking at all the SDGs, how development can go, civil society have every capacity to sit down with them, to give them a roadmap that can work. And I believe the primary election that APC is doing is the real election. The general election is just for us to say they have selected, whether we like it or not. You either pick A or B or C from the party that you want to vote for. So it is this primary election that dictates. I think all the political parties now should now look at what APC is doing. How PDP too can call all the leaders in their region and sit down and engage everybody that, okay, let's hear the people. Who do they want? It shouldn't be when they are now selected, we now bring them to, TV stations to come and start the debate, and we'll be throwing questions to them, and they will be answering and all that. Even you see, some will not come for the debate because they don't want anybody to come and shame them, But now when the engagement is going, before the primaries, there should be a solid engagement where all the stakeholders are together in a room to talk sense to each other. It's going to be real engagement that will be constructive, and they will come out very hard.
In terms of engagement, although Ustaz has actually alluded to the fact that if Southwest is teaming up with Southeast, it's going to be strange bedfellows, coming together. Pa Edwin Clark, you can't ignore his voice in South. He has said that if PDP is not fielding, if PDP is going ahead to field a northerner, then the South, not the Southwest or South, the entire South will not take part in the election. Isn't that a dangerous dimension?
What I see is that PDP and APC are just, looking at themselves, trying to, put on a strategy that how will it work? Whatever APC is doing that doesn't, go down well with the larger populace, let's pick it as our own strategy to run, whether we can get it back from them. So it's a king competition. But we know that if PDP are still looking at no zoning, no zoning at this time, they are just, it is just mere child's play. Now they are now saying no zoning. I think. Are you saying
it's child's play?
It's
19 northern states.
Yeah.
If they get behind a northerner presented by PDP, do you think it won't win the election?
The issue is that how do you even bring all the 19 northern states together to have a consensus? It's a difficult thing, we have.
But it's happened in the past. It's happened in the past.
Yeah, but we have this dynamics that it's now beyond states. then you will see religion coming in. Then you will see tribe coming in. You know, those are the, you know, cards that we now play. No, that 19 other states doesn't mean they are all Hausas or they are all Fulanis, or they are all Christians or they are all Muslims. So even in the Southwest, we are still having that religious card, Muslim ticket, Christian ticket. It won't work. So everybody is, you know, it is when you have a lot of diversity in a country like ours that becomes a problem. It's because of our diversity. And it is our time we look at it that who have the best interest, who have the experience to do this job, to get out all of us out of the mess we are in terms of economy, in terms of, you know, we have to look beyond all those cards. But are Nigeria, you know, well, you know, exposed not to play that card?
What do you think? Okay, Ustaz, I'll come back to Mr. Kisaya. Ustaz, you want to say something on that?
You see, a lot of things are coming up. The North won't mind, you know, throwing that spade or spanner into whatever is happening in the Southwest and the South-South for us not to agree. They won't mind doing that for them to get it back. There is this political theory that Atiku is, you know, will come up. Definitely the way things are in the PDP. Atiku is going to come as a flag bearer of PDP. I don't think there is any doubt about that. They are doing all that it's going to take to do that, to ensure that he comes out as flag bearer. And that's their joker. And when you talk about the political North, the North as 19 states, and you talk of, well, there are some other, there are dissenting voices, I agree with you, in Taraba, in Benue, and, you know, in North Central area in particular, Plateau, etc. But do you want to hear the truth? The Fulani oligarchy are in charge of the North Central. When last did you hear the voice of the Benue state governor? Screaming, shouting, saying, when last did you hear his voice? And ditto for all other states. When it comes to that, the Northerners have done their homework. They know how to bring themselves together to get what they really wanted. And that's just the simple truth. Now, but one thing that is certain is the 19 northern states cannot on their own win election, win the presidency. They can't on their own, the way our country is structured. But then you have to ask a question. How many other parts of the country do they need to form that quorum to win the presidency? It's just few. They will get the people that will come in from the from southeast. They will get people that will support them from the south-south. It has been happening. Go to 1999, MPN, UPN. That was what happened. So they will always find a way around and get their way out of it. That is why I'm saying that it is not impossible for Atiku to emerge a president if, you know, the south-south, I mean the southwest, south-south, you know, southeast does not get their act together. That is it. But the big problem now is only the southeast. The southeastern people have been saying that, yes, they have right to become president. The narrative we have in the southeast does not support the fact that they want to president Nigeria. Why am I saying this? When you look at it, we have, what do you call it, the IPOP people that are screaming, saying no to Nigeria. They want Nigeria to be dismembered. You have a number of their governors that have dissenting voices. Some are in APC, some are in PDP, some are in this other, this is the other party, Afghan. So they are not even united in that level. They will not be able to convene a meeting. Yes, the what they call the socio-cultural group of the Igbos came together. Even they are divided. They have one leader that is saying free Kano. They have one leader that is saying no, let Kano go to court and get freedom from the court. I know that you are getting it. Because at that level too, they are divided. They are not even united at that level. So it's going to be easy for us to say we want to have our forces behind the southeast to say let's go for the presidency. Now the south-south, there is an issue already. Somebody is patronizing, you know, Jonathan to come back. Some people are saying no, don't bring Jonathan back. There was a protest recently at APC Secretariat. Don't bring Jonathan back. I don't know they are getting it. So a lot of things are going on. And that's why I feel that the best thing the Southwest can do is to have a united, you know, stand. Let them come together. Don't get involved in all the mess that's happening in South-South and the Southeast. They don't know what they're doing. The North are keeping quiet. They are waiting for you to mess it up. Because whether PDP or APC, once a Northerner is there, a Fulani man is there, they are comfortable. It's their own. So what I'm trying to say in essence is, what I think the Southwest, which is the main focus of this our discussion, is our leaders meeting to bring about a consensus. They've not succeeded so well in the first meeting. That's the obvious truth. They've not succeeded so well in the first meeting. So they said, okay, for now, don't call yourself names. No name calling, nothing. go out there, campaign peacefully. There is a plan for another meeting before the primary. Don't forget, the primary is closing very closely. The primary is closing, APC is coming in. INEC kept on reminding them, look, make sure you do your primary today. No extension. I think they are getting it. So what I think we need to do, and I'm really concerned about the Southwest, is the Southwest leaders, they need to, people now that are, initiating that move, need to come together and look at who are the stakeholders from each of the states that needs to be on top of that big forum of leadership.
Shouldn't Southwest, sorry, Gustavo, shouldn't Southwest also romance the North? I'm looking at that man that will emerge from Southwest that will have the capacity to break the North. For now, I don't know what is happening. For now, Tinubu seems to have that capacity. To break the North? To break the North, for now. But I don't know what is happening with the PYO. That is the Vice President. When he declared, and somebody said, he's making a mistake. I said, yes. Politically, he's a minor. He's a minnow, politically. But the person, the character of VP of Shibaju that I've studied over time does not make him look like a stupid person. Who will just come and say he wants to declare when he knows that there's nothing for him there? Like say they are playing a game. I don't know they are getting it. There is a reason for him to come and say, I want to contest. He's not just a person that will take a decision anyhow. Go and look at his antecedents. Calculated, smart, intelligent person. I saw a bit of that. I looked at the picture that he took at the meeting with Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
They shook each other.
He had face mask on, and they shook each other, and it was a straight. It was like a business.
As usual, business handshake. So
that gave me a feeling.
Not the camaraderie. My boss.
I think it's really convincing to me that he must have actually tested all the waters. And
there are a lot of things that would have made him to come and say, I want to be president. So my own submission is a simple one. If he did not consult with Asiwaju before he did what he did, Asiwaju needs to be a bit careful. Because he should know that the quality and the caliber of the person he has brought up is not a person that wants to take a run when he knows he's going to lose. That is not Asiwaju that we all know. Go and look at the incident. So if he's really serious and it's not a game plan among politicians, then it's starting to sit down and start knowing who is coming from which part of the country that is supporting which of them. Anyway, they are communicating. It is obvious that the Southwest alone cannot win the presidency. It's obvious. So who is on the other side that is saying, go on, we are with you? Who, as the conservative North, the conservative North will not give their vote to a person that will not do their bidding. Go and look at our history. They will not give their vote. Look, Awolowo didn't get it. Not because he was not good as a president, but the North did not trust him. MKO did not get it, not because he was not good, but the North did not trust him. Whoever is going to come in from any part of the country must be a person the North can trust, that will do their bidding. I don't know they are getting it. That is just calculation.
There's a lot of talk. Sorry, Moji is itching to come in. But let me come to Mr. Akisha. There are a lot of talks about President Buhari giving the nod. Buhari has told me to go and contest and all that. The body language of President Muhammadu Buhari is not really he's not the type that talks, and he's not also been talking in recent times. Naturally, you don't expect him to talk at this point in time. Do you think that the Buhari that we've seen in the last 7.5 years, is really trustworthy, to be it can be trusted, can really be trusted to say this is the time for Southwest?
Well, I believe that there is a lot of game going on as we have analyzed. And don't forget, whether we like it or not, immediately they have that consensus or primary for whoever is coming out from Southwest, then you will see a different card playing. The religious card will be played for vice presidency. Once that vice presidentship is like, they look at that person like, you will now be the next president. So the Northerners will look at whoever they want to pick will be somebody that can be the vice president. Then let us also look at what is the Southwest looking at, the capability and the experience of the person that will bring them out. I read it in one of the social media trends going on. Immediately, Tinubu came in that he declares that he wants to do, then they now ask that, if Tinubu is coming, is there going to be a Christian northerner that will be accepted by all the northern cabals that will have their bid to bring out? That is one. Two, are we going to have Muslim ticket? I've also declared that no, we can't have Muslim ticket in this present calculation.
What's wrong with that?
There is nothing wrong with that, but that is just where we get ourselves, because so many things is going on of the religion sector. Whether we like it or not, that card will be played. Then another thing is that somebody now said on social media that if South West are very wise, why are they putting somebody that is not that agile with health issues there? If we have a vice president of the Northern, are we not repeating what will happen to Yar'Adua, Jonathan's ticket? Will Southwest will be able to play that 8 years with the health issue? So we have to sit down and think critically so that we won't, we won't get into the net they are trying to push us.
As closing, I think that's clearly an assumption. Ustaz, do you also, I mean, the health issue of Ashwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a lot of people have said that he has health issues as if they have knowledge, they are privy to his health papers and all that. I don't think so. I do totally.
The man has said you've not asked him to come and be a bricklayer or
exactly.
something like this. He said, but I don't want to discuss each of them individually. Yes, I want to look. When you look at the two big parties, the APC and the PDP, for God's sake, which region is calling the shot in the APC? It is the North. Which region of Nigeria is calling the shot in PDP? It is the North. So look, the joker still lies with the North. And that's why I feel whoever wants to fight or wants to stand against the North needs to be formidable. When Tinubu was playing that game he played in 2015, the North knew that however he goes about it, it is in their interest. When he was, doing that romancing and he was supporting, what do you call his name? The present president, PMB. I mean, he was supporting President Muhammadu Buhari. The North supported him because he knew that all along, in all elections, Buhari has been winning. Go back 2015, 2011, it was Buhari, 2000 and whatever, 2007. Go and look at the history. Buhari has been overwhelmingly winning the North. So when Tinubu came up with that strategy that, okay, there's an alliance between ACN and ACN and
NPN.
No, what's the Buhari's party again?
APP.
Whatever, ANPP, whatever, that wanted to come together. They're like, okay, this is good for us. The North, they are politically wise. Look, everybody on the street is politically wise. Even the man that is selling goro at your gate is politically wise. I'm not joking. So they said, does this go for us? Yes. And let me tell you, the North is the North because Nigeria is there. The only region that enjoys Nigeria still now is the North. And when I talk of the North, I'm talking about political elites. No other region is enjoying Nigeria. And they are the only one that feel Nigeria should remain. And they want to be sure that whoever comes in does not bring a narrative or rhetoric that would, that would throw away, that would throw the geese that is mainly golden leg, that will kill it. So when you look at the APC and the PDP, the North, they hold by the jugular. They determine who comes in as the primaries. Have you looked at the representative that will come for primaries to vote? In the APC and the PDP, the chunk of the vote is coming from there.
From the North.
They have a plan.
So with all that, do you think, I'll still go back, do you think the Southwest we have a chance? Because we are not,
they can only have a chance.
We are not politically, we are not strategic politically.
Listen.
That is my own thought.
Listen, the North have the way to go about it. In 1999, whatever, what was that? Was it 1999? 2009, whatever. When did Obasanjo came up as our president? Was it 2009 or whatever? 2009, well, maybe 1999. When they realized that they need to pacify the Southwest because of MKO. We had our people that we present that we wanted, but they did not listen to us. Yeah. They went to bring a person they feel will serve their purpose. And when I look at OBG antecedent, I'm on public television. the present constitution that we are having was anchored by OBJ. When they had Constitutional Assembly pre-1999, the Assembly did not say, the Constitutional Assembly all over, they did not say we should go federal. They wanted us to go into region. But what happened? At the SMC level, the military deleted 10 clauses from the agreement of the Constitutional Assembly, and we have 1999 Constitution. So they knew that whoever is going to play their game among us was that person, and they went for Obasanjo. Even as it is going now, if the Southwest does not get their act together, and they feel that there's somebody that they can use among us, they will pick the person, and the person will become what? Become the aspirant at that level. What I think we need to do as leaders, they need to do is to prevent what happened in the 60s, right here. Because look, if Tinubu did not come up as the consensus candidate of the APC, there will be a lot of issues. Looking at political weight in the Southwest. So something needs to be done. And that's why our leaders must come together. Our leaders need to come out and bring about peace. So we don't have what happened, a repeat of what's here.
Although you can never trust the social media, over the weekend, the man that has been championing the campaign of Tinubu
eventually dumped
APC.
A lot of things coming up, yes.
He says he's going to another party. Does that not presuppose that Tinubu's failure to get the ticket, you know, at the primaries will make him go to another political party?
Kwankwaso is coming with a lot of the gimmicks and grammar, you understand? And people are thinking that there are a lot of games going on. So whatever is going to happen, what I'm saying is the North will always come together to defend their interest. And that is what will play out. Even in these primaries, the North will come out to defend what they believe is their own. Nigeria belongs to them. And they don't want whoever is not in the narrative, does not share the narrative of Nigeria, to come if they cannot trust. They will not support such a person.
Okay, we're closing this in the next 2 minutes, but that will be without asking Ms. Akisoyan to actually give us what she thinks about the perspective of followership. If you look at Southwest is the most vibrant on social media, and a whole lot of Southwest people don't believe in Oshibajo, they don't believe in Tinubu, they don't believe in Amosun, in Fayemi, they don't believe in a whole lot of our aspirants.
On social media?
On social media.
Yes.
And that could be very dangerous too. You don't think this is the time for followership in Southwest to also galvanize their thoughts behind a particular person?
Yeah, I believe that most of the social media critics don't even have PVC. Let's start from there.
If they don't vote.
They don't vote. That is, especially the youth, the elites, on the day of election, you will vote them out.
We are monitors. When we go see, they don't vote.
So they don't vote. And they will just, they like, take their phone.
Are you sure they won't do this time around?
Let's wait and see. The truth is that the real election is this primary election we are assessing. If Southwest can get it right and put the right person there to front, whether it's PDP or APC, if we can get the right person there,
and that is the word.
And the person will now come back to do damage control, to do confidence building.
Yes.
I still believe all those social media critics will still form alliance with somebody, whether you like it or not. You will pick somebody at the end of the day. Because what we are looking at is who can take out us from the mess we have now. Everybody is shouting. The idea of Lagos is the highest. When they are sharing the allocation, most of this goes to the north. We are the one drinking beer, paying taxes. Most of us will go to Sharia states that are not. All these anomalies. Our constitution, we have to do it.
Let's round up.
We want somebody that will do that constitution and bring us out.
Let's round up with the issue of loyalty from the part of the leaders. A lot of people do not just trust them due to some issues that happened in the past. They actually felt some of the leaders in the Southwest brought us to where we are now. So what's going to happen?
Nothing can happen between now and when we are having the primaries. So we have no choice than to stay with our leaders now. But like she has said, they need to do a lot of damage control, whoever comes in. And that's why I kept on saying it. For the purpose of this program, which is our leaders meeting in Lagos on Friday, they need to do another meeting. They need to expand that scope of leadership. It's not just political leaders, traditional leaders, religious leaders, leaders of thought, women leaders, academics, let them come together, big wigs in Yoruba land, in Southwest Nigeria, and say, look, this is the best course that we can follow. But whoever comes out among you, eventually at the primaries, let us all support him. So we don't have a repeat of what happened. Wait here, that happened in the 60s.
Exactly. Anyway, I think from that premise of pessimism on the part of Moji to the confidence level of Ustaz, I also try to add it to comments of somebody that came here recently, and he said Southwest should just present the best out of the worst. The best out of the worst. If we all think that all those that we have aspiring to that office are those who actually took us to where we are today, there should be one of them that we can actually trust. Yeah. And I think on that basis, we want to say thank you for coming on this program this morning, Ms. Mojisola Shola Akinsoya, general analyst. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
It would have been very disastrous if we didn't bring you on this program, because if you had actually watched, you would have said, "Oh, well, Mumbi wants to be."
Yeah, because we just have to, they are not the only one in APC. They are not the only one contributing to APC. Why everybody will say leaders meeting of Southwest and there's no single woman there?
Ask your women to contribute.
Do more.
Let them contribute 100 million for her. And let us come and pick from the APC form.
100 million is looking like 10,000 naira in Nigeria today.
Yeah, like a pure water.
Ustaz, thank you so much for coming.
Swinging it in our faces that there is no problem with our economic or hardship. But let's see how it's going to go. Okay. And you know that damage control, confidence building will take us out of where we are now.
Okay, we say amen to that. We'll take this break now for our next guest to come on and to discuss another issue. It's still new on OGTV. Stay with us.